Have you ever felt like you are stuck in quicksand, struggling to pull yourself out, only to find that the more you fight, the deeper you sink? That's the tricky trap of accountability in self-improvement, and it's more common than you might think. We often believe that leaning on others will help us move forward, but this reliance can actually hold you back. It's a sneaky trick that disguises itself as support. Picture this: you decide to embark on a fitness journey and share your goals with friends, hoping for motivation. Instead, their expectations start to weigh on you, turning your personal commitment into a performance for others. Can you feel that shift? The pressure transforms your growth into a show, where you're not just running for yourself but to impress an audience. When you stumble, the fear of disappointing them can be overwhelming. You might wonder, is accountability helpful? Here's the catch: relying too much on it can dim your self-driven ambition. You start to second-guess every move and question if your worth hinges on their approval. Think about a musician pouring their heart into a performance. Each note reflects their soul. But if they focus solely on the audience's reaction, the music loses its essence. This is the reality for many. When you tie your growth to external validation, you can lose sight of why you started in the first place. You begin to chase applause instead of your own authentic worth. The more you seek approval, the more pressure you create for yourself, leading to a draining cycle that leaves you feeling defeated. You're not failing your goals, you're failing yourself. So what's the solution? It starts with redefining accountability. What if, instead of sharing your goals for validation, you shared them to inspire and connect? Try this: set small, personal milestones just for you. Keep them close to your heart, and when you achieve them, celebrate quietly. Let these be your personal victories, free from judgment or expectations. As you create this inner space for growth, you'll discover newfound freedom. You'll learn that the deepest accountability lies within you, and slowly you'll see your growth unfold in surprising ways. Reflect on this: are you truly growing or just performing? The journey is yours to own, and the power to shape it lies within you. So, take that first step, not for the applause, but for the joy of the journey itself. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on your own path. What small changes can you make today to reclaim your growth? Have you ever felt the pressure to improve yourself only to end up feeling stuck? You're definitely not alone. Many people pursue self-improvement, thinking they just need a bit more accountability. But here's the twist: that very accountability might actually be holding you back. Picture this: you set a goal to change your life and share it with friends or post it online, expecting their support. But what if that support starts to feel like a burden? Instead of motivating you, it turns into anxiety. Think about a friend who checks in on your progress. At first, it feels encouraging, but soon it becomes a count, and each check-in serves as a reminder of what you haven't achieved. You start to feel trapped, as if your growth hinges on their approval. The more you rely on others, the easier it is to lose sight of what you really want. You might find yourself chasing goals that look good on the outside instead of those that resonate with you inside. You think you are climbing the ladder, but what if you are just scaling the wrong wall? Have you ever convinced yourself that motivation comes from outside sources? Maybe it's that friend who seems to have it all figured out. But what happens when their life changes? You're left feeling lost, desperately clinging to someone else's anchor. This reliance can create a false sense of urgency. You start racing against the clock, but the only race you should be running is against your own self-doubt. It's easy to overlook that. The sneaky trap of accountability can make you question your own abilities. How many times have you hit a wall because you felt pressured to meet someone else's expectations? The discomfort intensifies, frustration builds, and soon you are left wondering if you are even on the right path. What if I told you that breaking free from this cycle starts with a simple realization? Accountability can be helpful, but it shouldn't be your crutch. Should be. You don't need to follow someone else's timeline. Growth is a personal journey that unfolds in its own unique way. Imagine a stepping back. Instead of waiting for someone to check in on you, what if you held yourself accountable? What if your growth was measured by your own standards rather than someone else's checklist? Take a moment to breathe and reflect on your journey. The pressure that once felt like a push can transform into a gentle nudge. What if your path to growth was illuminated not by the voices around you, but by the whispers within you? As you start to redefine accountability, remember it's about progress, not perfection. Your potential dose depends on someone else's approval. It's time to reclaim that power and move forward on your own terms. So here's the key takeaway: accountability can be a double-edged sword. Use it wisely. As you navigate your journey, keep in mind your growth is ultimately in your hands. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. What part of your journey do you need to reclaim? Share your thoughts, and let's start this conversation together. Have you ever felt like you were putting in all this effort to improve yourself, but not really making any progress? That nagging feeling might indicate you are stuck in a tricky situation. You might think having someone to hold you accountable is essential on this journey who would want a cheerleader. But what if that support is actually holding you back? It's a contradiction many overlook, and it's worth exploring. Imagine waking up each day excited to tackle your goals, but when you fall short, you turn to your accountability partner for comfort. Initially, this seems harmless, but it can quickly become a crutch. You start relying on their approval instead of trusting your own instincts. Does this sound familiar? Perhaps you've joined a group where everyone shares their progress, but when you don't see results, those conversations distract you from your own aspirations. How often have you felt the weight of others' expectations stifling your creativity and motivation? Now, let's talk about those crucial moments of growth. Picture yourself ready to take a bold step, but you hesitate, worried about how your accountability partner will react. You hold back, caught up in someone else's idea of success. That's where the risk lies. You've traded your genuine journey for someone else's plan. The deeper you get into this cycle, the more you might feel stuck, doubt your own abilities. Every setback becomes a discussion with someone else, and you start to lose your own voice amid the noise. Here's the twist: letting go of that reliance on accountability can feel daunting. You might feel exposed or vulnerable, but it's a crucial step. Imagine stepping into the unknown, where failure is just a lesson, not a judgment. What if I told you that real growth begins when you stop seeking approval? Picture a life where you set your own goals, driven by what feels right for you, not by others' timelines or expectations. Ask yourself, are you ready to face this? It's time to break free from dependence and reclaim your journey. Embrace the discomfort of moving forward on your own, even if it feels unsettling at first. This isn't about abandoning support, it's about recognizing when it becomes a barrier.